So this is session 2 of 4 for Unmasked, which is a Cypher System superhero game. This is part of my Cypher month for the Gauntlet Hangouts. I've done Gods of the Fall, and now I'm doing Unmasked, and I'll be doing Predation. This is sort of an experiment with that. So if you've played Cypher System before and you're watching me, try to hold back on your cringing at how I run the game. I'm still getting used to it and trying things out. Feel free to shout at your monitor. This is part of the Gauntlet Hangouts. You can find out more about the Gauntlet Hangouts at gauntlet-rpg.com. We have a lot of videos on my channel and on the Gauntlet channel, both actual play and we've got some other cool stuff there. This is part of the Gauntlet Hangouts, so we do use safety tools. So if you do see us talk about the X card at any point, you might see us doing that. We have some very basic safety tools. Everyone here I've played with before, so they're familiar with those tools. We use those to handle subject matter, tone, or anything else. So that is on the table. I just want to make everybody aware of that. We played last time, and this is a game set in 1986. We are in this city of Wayward, Ohio. It's an hour and a half outside of Columbus, Ohio. Columbus, Ohio is, the probably the nearest big city. I'm going to assume that Eric Pinkard, Steven's character, is excited because Kiss will be coming there for the Asylum tour here in 1986. So he's still hoping to score tickets and maybe figure out how he can actually get there and all of that kind of stuff. So we're going to take up with introducing our new character. Gerwin wasn't able to make it for session 1, so he's joining us for today and for the rest of the sessions. Rich is out today, so I've on the character spreadsheet I've hidden his column, and given that he ran away from school at the end of last session, it's easy to take him off the table for a little while. So assume that there's nothing wrong, that he's just got grounded or whatever. So we're gonna take up with that, and I'll frame where exactly we are once we get started. Before I get to the sort of introduction of characters, I do want to say, so Sherry asked about recovery, and so recovery works an interesting way in Cypher System. The first time you do a recovery action, it is a moment to do. Just takes an action to do it. And you get to roll your recovery die, which in the case of all of you is a d6 plus 2, and get to spread that out among any of your pools that are diminished. The second time you do recovery in a session, it takes 5 minutes, and then it takes an hour, and then it takes like 12 hours. I know at least one of the characters, I think, Michael, I think you have an extra recovery too. Am I right on that? Yeah, your unliving vigor, you have an extra recovery. But between sessions, and given that time has passed, I'm going to say that all of you can recover all of your pool. So you can go ahead and reset yourselves back up to full if you are down. So what I want to do is we're going to begin with a 1-minute pitch of the 3 existing characters, so that Gerwin has a sense of who they are, and we can reframe for everybody where everyone is. And then I'll have Gerwin tell us about his character. I'm very excited about this. For those of you at home, this is my first time making up characters for a Cypher System, and I think I got better as I went along. Maybe we'll see. It is a little bit different than other games that I've played in, so we'll see how well they stand up to the test of time here. So Stephen, can I have you give us the 1-minute pitch on Eric Pinkard and Warlock?
Yeah. So Eric Pinkard is a metalhead teen. He sketches like Kiss albums and all that kind of stuff, and he's really into heavy metal. The picture that I picked out is Judd Nelson from the Breakfast Club. He's just a punk. His he works after school, and his dad's like garage, and maybe isn't treated so well, maybe beaten a little bit. But his alter so things started glowing for him, and he basically found little pieces like stickers and things that he ended up making into a collage of his mask. And his mask, whenever he puts it on, he turns into a rock star. So it's almost like full on Kiss makeup. It's in tribute to them, and he just loves it. It makes him feel like he is uh, a star, just powerful. So Warlock, his alter ego, is a lucky thinker who comes from the future. And his future self appears from time to time to help distract people. And what that does is his future self is this all tattooed up bald dude who shows up, and he's told Warlock that, you know, in the future he's like a roadie and his dream of being a rock star is nothing and all of that. So Warlock and Eric both think that this old dude is just some kind of crazy guy who appears from time to time, isn't really his future self. And I think that's it.
And you have a pretty good relationship between your personal self, the kind of rebel, and Warlock, the mask self.
Yeah, I think that Warlock's it's almost like a for Eric, it's almost like a drug to put on the mask because it's kind of wish fulfillment. And I think
Mhm.
Warlock plays into that. His mask uh entices him to put it on and show off a little bit more than he normally would.
That seems good to me. I dig that very much. And we're next going to come over to Michael. Michael, of course, because I hid Rich's character sheet, you'll see that I've got some photo overlap there. So I apologize for your images kind of getting a little overlapped there.
It looks like you gave my character's cat super legs.
Yes, it does. That's great. So tell us about Anthony Rivas and Abraxas.
Sure. Well, Anthony grew up in an evangelical household. He's always been an earnest believer, and he did not react well initially when he started manifesting his abilities, and the process of creating his mask was a bit tortured. I always envisioned that he was like this close to like telling his parents about it, because his initial reaction would probably been that the devil was haunting him or something. But I'm guessing around that time, right before he did that, that's when he met the other teens, and that's when he got sucked up into all this craziness. In any event, he is like I said, raised an earnest evangelical. His teen rebellion was limited to secret Dungeons and Dragons sessions, and now that he has come upon developing this mask that, as far as he knows, seems to manifest the demon Abraxas.
Yep.
He definitely has a love-hate relationship with his mask identity. I think he figures that he can use his faith to keep the demon under control and harness its power for good.
Mm-hmm.
And he's certainly got his friends to back him up and keep him accountable to that. And his mask gives him various necromantic abilities. He can channel a chilling death touch. He hasn't done this yet in the game sessions, but he can also contact the dead and even draw upon their knowledge to help him out from time to time. And he also spews ectoplasm.
Do you think he's actually used that talking to the dead power yet, or is that something he has yet to discover?
I'm going to assume that's something he has yet to discover, because that definitely seems like that doesn't seem like necromancy. Well, I think as far as his abilities, that might be a more advanced thing that he hasn't gotten into yet.
Okay. And it might freak him out a little bit more than some of these other powers.
Yeah, so far it's just cool death touch and barfing stuff. That's like that's not quite as profane as speaking with the dead. So we'll see what happens if that happens.
Now, with our televangelist, that your father works for as part of that. Waldor, I believe, was the name.
Ian Waldor, yeah.
Yeah. With him starting to do these sort of low-key, almost conspiratorial talks about these strange things happening in the city. Has your dad talked about that at all, or your mom?
Oh, I'm sure they have, and they probably believe it's some kind of. I'm sure I'm sure they're very freaked out over reports of Abraxas running around, and if anything, they might. Who knows if there's ever any kind of backlash from the community? I'm sure they'd be at the forefront of it.
Okay. All right, and I will come back to you again. Thank you very much, Sherry. Can you please tell us about Darlene Szabo and Babylon Pie?
Sure. So Darlene Szabo is a creative teenager. She has spent many of her teenage years working at Orange and Julius. She got a job there early on, and she might end up as an assistant manager. Not that she's thrilled about it. The work is sticky. She has to wear a company issue headscarf. It's horrible. And then there's the hot dogs, even worse. Anyway, she spends all of her time and all of her money at the record store. She loves to order imports, everything, particularly from the sort of British scene. So it's all the new wave and all the punk that's still out there, because in the Midwest, punk is still new. So even at this late time, it's like sort of interesting and crazy. And over time, she started finding things around the record store that looked significant to her. A pair of Elvis Costello style glasses dropped in one of the bins, and all kinds of like an EP that she found that just glowed. And when she picked it up, it shattered into a bunch of different pieces, but she kept it all. She's got a really good eye for things, so she essentially put these things together and made her mask, and it turns out that her mask is called Babylon Pie. It's a new wave mask, wants to be adored, and it has powers over sound, and that's most of it.
Mm-hmm.
She's got, but the one thing is that they have a sort of strange relationship, because Darlene has just wanted to be part of a scene so much, and Babylon Pie wants to be adored so much. But Darlene's still a teenage girl that's in that stage of turning her shoulder to everything. And so that's like, oh, that is so uncool, or I don't know if that's how we should do it, or oh. And so she's this sort of voice of doubt and self-editing, and Babylon Pie just wants to do everything. And Darlene gets so embarrassed. Okay. It's a terrible, terrible story of a teenage girl that is like all stories of teenage girls.
So mid-'80s British new wave, Boomtown Rats. Who else?
Well, see, that's the thing, is it's the Midwest.
Yeah.
So everything from before that is still new too. Except, I mean, it's like MTV new, so it's whatever's in rotation there. So Boomtown Rats, the G would still be like, oh my God, they're amazing, even though they've been a big thing in England for a long time. And I would think it's Duran Duran. I mean, I hate to say this, but it's just that pop stuff too. She has no sense of any of the difference between those things. It's like she listens to Brian Eno and thinks he's part of that. She has no idea.
Okay.
It's all exotic and different from essentially what the album, the rock album, the rock radio stations are playing in the Midwest at that time. There's a couple of pop stations that play some of the songs from MTV, but not all of the secret cool stuff that she finds at the record stores.
So there's no real college radio, even though there's a little technical college.
Yeah, that's it. It's just a little technical college, and they play all the same album rock that all the other places play.
They play that on the weekends, like they're subversive. All the rest of the week, it's the classical music station for town. All right. So with that in mind, and I'll talk a little bit about town. So again, Wayward, Ohio, north side is the kind of poorer side of the tracks. They have their high school. That's Ambrose Bierce High School, and they've got a mall up there. It's a theater. They've got their arcade, everything there. And then on the south side of town, nicer part of town, a lot more of the higher paid executives for Funshine Toys, the big knockoff toy company in town. And the south side a little bit wealthier. Everything is much nicer there. That's Neil Armstrong High School. So we've got Armstrong and Bierce high schools there, both native-born sons of Ohio. So that's sort of the split in our city. And so, Gerwin, tell us about your character.
Okay, Sophia is a single child. Her mother passed away several years ago, and her father left New York with her to actually come to Wayward and set up a deli, which he runs on his own. Sophia's a kind teenager, but because her father is under so much stress, she's commonly having to miss school to actually go and help him in the deli. Now, she's a very withdrawn person. She's not very socially adept. She struggles to keep up with his fashion. She worries that her braces are going to be a real impediment and that no one's ever going to like her. And each day as she helps out in her father's deli after school, she looks over at the actual skate park over the road and just wishes to be out there with them. She has a longing to do what they do, but she's just so clumsy and bumbling in person, she can't actually ever get herself to do it. She's tried riding a skateboard, but inevitably she hits something or falls off. And then one day, taking the garbage out the back of the actual deli, she comes across a glowing broken skateboard in the trash bins back there. And that was her introduction to laser flip.
And so, how did you take the pieces from the skateboard and stuff to make the mask?
Well, the actual base layer of the mask itself is the wood from the skateboard.
Okay.
So she snuck into school into the wood shop and actually used the wood shop there to actually cut it up and make the basic parts. She painted it up herself. It's a bright garish hot pink and really, really bright undertones. The actual mask itself also has a little bit of fun fur over the top in a deep purple color. So these are all really garish colors, which don't match her personality at all. But she's felt drawn to it. And
when she puts on the mask, does she fully transform, or do we still see the mask like that, or does it change into something else? What do you imagine?
No, she goes from being this mousy young teenage girl with very not very skillful makeup and braces to being a 6 foot tall, very solidly built, bright pink, hot pink skinned woman with deep purple perm. So it's a complete transformation.
Awesome. And tell us about laser flip and what laser flip can do.
Laser flip moves like the wind. She defies gravity. She goes higher, she goes farther, she goes faster, and she tries to get people watching her while she's doing it. She's the complete opposite of Sophia. Sophia's mumbles. Sophia's very withdrawn. She'll reach out to help people, but she's not confident. Whereas laser flip is entirely the opposite thing. Laser flip demands to be seen. Not necessarily adored, but demands to be watched and demands to be witnessed while she does things.
So you've interacted with the others that you've shared the secret. We talked about one of the things that had happened before is that the group fought a giant brass mecha centaur that destroyed an apartment place. It was like in the very first thing that happened when you guys got together. But that was months ago. and the skate park was built where that apartment complex was knocked down. So of the people in the group, who do you trust?
Who do I trust?
Yeah.
I think Babylon Pie.
Okay.
Well, this is it. The personality of Laserflip is different from the personality of Sophia. So Sophia trusts Darlene, but who Laserflip trusts, is an entirely different matter. And there's the dichotomy there between the two personalities.
Do you think there's some rivalry then between Laserflip and Babylon Pie for being the center of attention?
I definitely think so. I think there's we're constantly trying to one up each other.
Of the people here, or even Rich's character, a young man who kind of lives in the North Side and spends most of his days in the arcade, has a big family. Which of these people before the mask thing were someone that you had interacted with significantly, either had a class with or were actual friends with?
I'm trying to remember who it was whose father worked for the televangelist.
That is Michael's father.
Okay, so I think my father is a lapsed Catholic and has actually joined the congregation there. So we know each other through the actual church there.
Okay. So the deli itself, sort of a downtown storefront kind of deli thing, or
it's a traditional New Jersey style deli. So it's not modern. It's not shiny chrome, shiny steel and everything everywhere. It's a more rustic feel to it. It's Michelangelo's deli.
Okay.
So his father basically paid to have murals painted on the wall to give it a very back home feel in terms of Europe.
And is there a specialty for Michelangelo's deli?
Oh yes, we do the most wonderful sausage. We do the most wonderful pork sausage.
So competing. This is Ohio, so probably a strong German community. So there's probably at least a German deli somewhere else in town, or a Polish deli, and it's probably some rivalry there.
Oh, very, very much so. It's part of the reason my father keeps on having to actually rely on Sophia, because of it's very stiff competition, and he struggles to make ends meet a lot of the time, especially with the tithe he pays the church.
Oh, okay. Tell me about an NPC, either an adult or a peer, or someone that is kind of your anchor. Is it your father, or is it someone else? Someone that you go back to?
No, the person who I go to for advice is actually someone who is in very dire straits themselves and who I've helped out. There's a person in the community known as Frank. He's a homeless person who's constantly begging around the north part of the town itself, and I actually slip him food from the deli when he's struggling, and we sit down and we basically have long conversations. And when I need to turn to someone, I can't turn to my father. He's got far too many problems. Frank has a worldliness to him that he's in dire straits himself, but the advice he gives is very heartfelt and very genuine.
Nice. So you weren't at school, I assume, because of your dad saying you need you to help out?
That's right, yes. There was a big order there that had come in from the toy factory for a presentation lunch, and he basically needed to get subs and the order filled and actually go off and deliver it. So he had me
The little trays and the boxes and all of that.
Yeah. So he basically had me in watching the shop while he was out.
And so you probably would have seen, I assume there's the radio or a little one of those tiny little box TVs in the deli. And so you would have seen the reports from reporters on site at the school about there having been some kind of accident. And apparently there was some kind of explosion at a truck that was in the parking lot, and it actually damaged a bunch of cars. There are some reports that there may have been people involved with it. May have been some figures there. They get that. There are 2 stations. One of the stations is a very stodgy report. But also, explosion seems to have destroyed a number of cars in the parking lot. We'll go live onto the scene with our Live Eye satellite truck that we have. I've been told the satellite truck is not functional right now, so we'll just get the report over the telephone then. And the other one's like a little more, hyper about. Well, there were some strange figures. I know we talked about there being some unusual persons in costumes around. There's some reports of that we're getting. The police are neither confirming nor denying the reports. The mysterious figure that has been spotted several times in the city, Rad Dawn. It was said that he was apparently in the area, but we have no confirmation on that. There was also a report of someone in some sort of devil costume, and we've had that report a couple of times before, but we don't have all the details. We'll be talking with the local sheriff over the next few hours to see if we can get a confirmation on what's going on there. And you know what went down. You know it in your heart.
I'm standing in the deli. I'm watching this. I'm serving customer. As soon as the last customer leaves, I run over and flip the sign to close, and I run out to the street to use the phone. And I'll basically be on the phone to Michael at that point. Sorry, not Michael. What's your character's name? Anthony. To actually try and find out what's happened.
And you will be able to call him at his house, because after this incident, they would have gotten all the kids into their classrooms, and then they would have sent everybody home for the day.
That was my thinking. Yes.
Yeah. They essentially pack everybody in, and then they send everybody home. Any of the kids that are on the fixed lunch thing, they do allow to stay through the lunch hour, so they can get their lunch. But they're calling parents and they're sending kids home. So yeah, you can call Michael. Anthony, your dad works. Does your mom work?
The father would work.
Okay. Does the mom work though, or is she at home?
She'll be taking care of the homestead.
Okay. So you would have gotten your home, and your mom would have peppered you with questions about this, and then the phone would have rung, and she would have said, "It's your little friend Sophia."
Oh, right. I'll take it in my bedroom. Oh, well, actually,
you got to drag the cord.
Yeah, exactly.
around into your bedroom.
Hi, Tony. Tony, is that you? Are you there? What's happening, Tony? I saw this thing on the news, and is everyone okay? What's happened?
Yeah, I can't really talk right now, but let's meet at the secret headquarters. Let's meet at secret headquarters. And that I envision secret headquarters being the skate park. Does that sound decent to people?
Yep.
Yeah, let's meet there in like 20 minutes.
I'll try. I may be a bit late. I'm watching the deli. Dad's not back yet.
Oh well, let's just maybe we should just. Is it busy right now?
No one there at the moment, but I don't know when someone's going to show up. I'll be there as quick as I can.
Actually, maybe we should meet at the deli to make it easy for you.
Yeah, that would be brilliant. That'd be brilliant, and I can fix people a sandwich, and get everyone round, and yeah, sure. Oh, there's someone coming. I better get going. Keep
Okay,
safe,
we'll see.
okay?
Okay, we'll see you there.
Okay. I'll see you there. Bye. Bye.
Mhm.
Bye. No. Okay. I'm
Yeah,
gonna.
I'm hanging up.
Okay.
Okay, I'm hanging up now.
Hanging up requires you to walk the phone all the
Right.
way back out of your bedroom, across the hall, and back to the thing.
Yeah, and
Mom?
I'll on the way back, I'll pretend I'm talking about like some homework assignment.
Mom kind of looks at you. Is she okay? Was she at school too?
She was. Sophia was working today, so she just needed to get the lowdown.
Her dad makes her do all that time at the shop. I don't know how she keeps up with her studies.
No, she she works hard. She's crams her homework in afterwards, I guess. By the way, do you mind if I head out for a little bit? I wanted to I wanted to like drop out some homework to Sophia. Do you mind if I head over to the deli now?
GM intrusion.
Mhm.
I actually think you should stay in. Your mom is clearly concerned, and you have the sense that you've asked, and she is not going to give you permission. I'll give you an XP for that,
Okay.
and you can hand off an XP to someone else. And you think you're going to have to sneak out.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, first of all, I'll go ahead and give my extra experience point to Sophia, and after that, I think I'll say, okay, I'll just have to I guess
At least till your father gets home.
Okay, well, maybe I can get Sophia her homework then. In the meantime, can I just do my since I'm home early, can I just do my prayer time now, Mom?
That sounds good. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I'll just be in my room. I'll just I'll be for private prayer time or Bible reflection, I'll say. And of course, I'll be
all right. Remember, you're going to be leading the hymnal in the Sunday school this week.
Oh, right. I'll practice that as well.
I've got your little suit and tie all back from the cleaners.
Oh, great. The powder blue one.
Absolutely. It's what everybody's wearing.
Oh, great. Thanks, Mom.
Just be thankful I didn't get a cummerbund.
Mom.
Good, thank you.
Yeah, so I think what I'll do is just to cover myself up. To cover up my inevitable departure. First of all, I'll get some quarters so I can make surreptitious phone calls on the local phone booth, and then I will. We'll say that after lots of I envision that after lots of arguing, I kind of like forged a compromise with my parents before, so that where I'm allowed to listen to my Christian heavy metal music during private prayer time. I managed to convince them that no, it's not just like the devil working in disguise. And that'll be what I kind of covered to I guess mask my
What a friend we have in Jesus. Something like that.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So I'll set that up. I'll put my in prayer sign on my door, which I presume I have, and then I'll sneak out once I've got my my place set up. I will after a couple minutes to make sure she doesn't like pop in with any last minute questions. That's when I'll try sneaking out the door.
So I think this is a difficulty 3 test, with the consequence being at some point your mom or your dad figures out that you're not there, and that'll be hell to pay later. And I'll make that intellect. Okay. Okay.
So difficulty 3. Does that mean I have to roll 9 or higher?
Yes, it does.
I'm going to. Let's see. I'm since I don't want to get trip up out the door. I'm gonna I'd like to spend 3 intellect points to reduce the difficulty down to 2.
Absolutely.
And then now I have to roll a 6. And now
Yes.
I have to open up the roll link, which I am doing now.
Sherry, I'm going to come to you next.
So if a die. Oh, it's still there. Excellent. All right, here we go. All right, I rolled a 13.
Okay. So you will get that. We're having that same weird thing, Michael, where I can't see your dice.
Can I see your dice?
Michael's dice
Nope.
is right off to the right-hand side. It's the same on my screen. My screen's smaller. I think it may be down to the resolution we're looking at.
Weird. Let me shrink it. That is so strange. So good. I'm glad you can see it. It's weird. Let me see if I can share my screen. So this is what I see on my screen. Is that?
Oh,
isn't that weird?
Interesting. So is your die the 6-sider?
I don't know where that came from.
That was me, and I did it by accident, and I can't seem to figure out how to get rid of it.
Okay, I'll delete selected and let's see if that works. Yeah.
There we go. Thank you.
Okay. No, that's cool. We'll have to make a note of that. I'm glad we have this on video because we'll tell Sean, and maybe he can see what's going on with that. It definitely showed up your total though on the last row total, so I know you rolled it.
There it is.
So it gave me at least that piece of information.
Okay.
All right. So you will be able to do that. You will get out of your room. Your mom isn't going to check on you. She trusts you. And you can certainly do that without a problem. Let's cut back to Darlene. And we'll cut back to before that. The scene will end with you getting a call or whatever. Give us a scene of what happens. Is it a home scene or is it a scene at the mall? When school gets out like this?
Well, typically what would happen is that she's supposed to go back to her grandmother's house if, like, she has to leave during school or whatever, because, of course, her parents both work. So she's supposed to go there. So I would see her kind of, gathering all her stuff up and walking over to her grandmother's house, which is like 3 blocks over. And then just going there and like watching soap operas with her.
Is your grandmother all concerned about what's going on?
No. To her, she doesn't even really understand why I would bother to go to school because girls don't need to. They just get married. I mean, that's what Darlene thinks that she's telling her. She's not sure. But she's very like when Darlene shows up, she's just like she gets out, more pastries. She makes Darlene coffee. It's one of their things. So like Darlene drinks coffee when she's over there. She doesn't really like it that much, but she gets pastries as long as she keeps the cup near her. And so she drinks coffee and eats pastries that her grandmother always has like lots of. She has a sweet tooth.
What kind of candies does the old Hungarian mother keep around?
Oh gosh, super strong European mints, like they're blue, and you put them in your mouth, and it's like they taste chemical and toxic and super duper minty sweet. They're kind of a fascinating source of like once a year Darlene will try one and it will reconfirm to her that yes, they're as horrible as she remembers them being. She also has like that Christmas ribbon candy in there all the time. And it's like really pretty, but it just tastes like sugar. Mm-hmm. And probably the other thing are purple. Oh no, she has the spice gumdrops. Like the gumdrops look like they're going to be delicious, like the fruit ones, and then you have them and they taste like clove or something. So actually, the candy dish is sort of just the dish of abominations as far as Darlene is concerned.
And I assume that then Anthony would know to call you at your grandmother's?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
And first he'd have to talk to my grandmother, who would ask.
Oh, hello. Yes. Hello. Oh, yes. Yes. Oh, she's here. It's the little suitor boy. The one with the powder blue suit.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Grandma. And she's like,
You can have him over if you want.
That's okay, Grandma. That's okay.
She's already heading to the kitchen to make some more cookies for when you have your little boyfriend over.
She's just like, hi, Anthony. Are we gonna get together?
Yeah, we're gonna be at the deli this time though, because Soph is hung up on there.
Okay.
She's at work. So yeah, just meet us there in at this point, maybe 15.
Okay. Should I walk by the garage and see if I can find oh, I'm so sorry. The
Eric?
name is Eric. Yeah. See if I can find Eric.
Yeah, that'll be awesome.
All right.
All right, we'll see you there.
Okay.
And what do you tell your grandmother?
I tell my grandmother that that we are, since we have the day off from school, that we're all going to meet down at the mall.
Well, what do you do there?
Oh, we look at stuff. You know, we go to the stores and we talk. It's fine, Grandma.
You're not going to that arcade, are you?
No.
Yeah, because those video games, they're all run by the mafia. All that money, all those quarters, that's the mafia. They take it, they take all that money, all that kids' money, and then they take it to make more mafia things.
Darlene's like, huh. Okay, Grandma. I won't go to the arcade, all right?
All right.
Okay. Sort of backs out. And essentially she'll walk down to the garage where Eric's father works.
Okay. So we'll spend time back a little bit until we get to that meeting. And let's Eric, school gets canceled. Yes. And what do you do then?
So I think the school like called the parents, right? So
they would have started to do that, but I assume. I mean, did they call your dad, or did they call the rich people's dads first, or what?
oh, that's right. So I don't think they could get a hold of either of my parents. Basically, they're both working, and they called the house. Nothing, there wasn't anybody there. They moved on to the next, parents on the list. So I think that Eric's basically playing hooky. And he left school and he went home and he cranked up the tunes and fluffed his big heavy metal hair and everything and started to head banging. Like, this is really cool. And after like a few minutes of that he kind of he listened to his music and then he got kind of bored. And I think he was like, well, crap, I need to go find somebody to hang with. So I think he then left. And I think that his dad's garage is like across the street or very close by where they live.
Okay.
So it kind of came out and his dad was like, boy, come over here.
What are you doing?
That's right. And he was like, and so Eric kind of came over and was like, what is it?
Why aren't you at school?
They let us all go. There was some kind of thing in the parking lot.
Thing in the parking lot? Like what?
Like, I don't know. Some guys. I was in class at the time. They just told us that there was a truck that got hit, and they sent us all home.
Oh wait, seriously? Like a truck got hit?
Yeah.
Hey, Davey, get the tow truck and go down to the school. See if we can get some business. Okay. Okay. And he'll go and get the tow truck.
Yeah.
It's good. Good. We got an oil change on 3. Why don't you get on that?
Dad, okay. So I kind of go over there and I hike up the truck, right, to start doing the oil change. I slip underneath it. I watch for a little bit, and as soon as nobody's looking, I slip out the back of the garage.
Okay.
And I'm headed to the skate park, right?
Okay.
I'm just gonna go hang out there because there's got to be somebody to visit with.
Do you think that you spot the others as they're headed to the deli?
I think maybe they spot me in the parking lot, but I think that it's not before Darlene goes by the garage looking for me, and my dad finds out I'm missing.
Yeah.
Like,
So we'll do that scene, and then we'll have Sophia spot you. So there is that thing where you go. What is it like when you have to go to an adult's garage and ask for their kid?
Oh, I'm like, is Eric here?
Yeah. Hang on. I'll get him.
Thanks.
Hey, Eric. What the? Eric. He comes back and he got that kind of glowering look of an angry adult. Yeah, he's not here. It was supposed to be here, but he left.
Huh. Okay, thanks. Yeah, roll my eyes, get the heck out of there.
So Sophia, you're kind of anxiously waiting, and you will see Eric kind of doing that as only a high schooler can do, trying to stealth across a parking lot to get to the skate park.
I'm serving a customer at the time, and that'll be $1.50. Thank you. Excuse me.
Okay.
And while they do that, I reach over and I'll bang the window.
Eric, you're still like, oh yeah, I made it out, awesome, and you'll hear that dunk 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 from across the street.
And I think I kind of turn around and I see that Sophia has like a customer in there, but she's banging on the window, and I'm like, cool, and I kind of head that direction.
Okay. So you'll finish out with this old woman, who's bought all like an eighth of a pound of all these different things, and puts out all the coins on the counter.
And it's all in cents and dimes, and
oh yeah, absolutely. Bottom of the change purse kind of dimes. And she takes all the pieces that you had individually wrapped, the big stack of those, and she'll head out. Essentially we'll cut. Yes.
Would you like me? Would you like me to help you get that to the car?
Yes.
Okay. I'll pick them up and I'll walk out with her and hand it. She'll sit down in her very old car. I'll hand it to her, and then I'll go, Eric.
I'm kind of, yeah.
Come here.
I'll kind of come on over and like, what's that?
What happened today? I heard there was a big fight at school. Are you okay?
Yeah. I think we watch as the lady kind of drives off, and I'm like, there's like this old dude who showed up, and he I think he tried to hit Anthony, and he kind of glowed, and then he hit. Yeah, it was kind of awesome. We sent him off, and he ran off. He blinked out. Bloop. It was awesome.
Is Anthony okay? He didn't mention that. Did you get hurt?
No, I think everybody's okay.
Let me cut in here and hard frame the other two in if I can.
Yeah.
Okay. So that you guys are out on the sidewalk talking as Anthony and Darlene arrive, and you can kind of duck back into the deli to talk.
So what happened? I heard there was a fight, and Eric was going on about this old guy, and is everyone okay?
Everyone's okay. So you remember Arnold? Arnold had a thing in his pocket. We could all see it. And we were walking over to check out what Arnold had and maybe have a chat with him because some of the football players were pushing him around like they're always pushing someone around, right? So we go over there, and then all of a sudden Sean takes off for the parking lot. Apparently he saw some other guy with a mask coming up after him, and so he took off, and that guy followed him because apparently he wanted to fight Sean. turned and went full dig dug, and they're duking it out, and so we all run over to help.
Oh, did anyone see him?
See who? See
Did-
Sean?
Yeah.
No. He hid. He like threw himself into the truck and changed in there, so it was okay. No one-
Yeah, actually, I gave him a call on the way here. He said he was grounded.
Oh no! He's not been
I know
hurt.
he's our heavy hitter, man.
He's
I'm
not.
sorry?
He's not been hurt. He
Yeah, I think he took a couple punches. He's okay.
he wouldn't tell us if he'd been hurt. He's that sort of person. I'll tell you what. I'll make up something and get it sent over to. I'll drop it over to him on the way home.
So I think this entire time, Eric's kind of walked around back behind the counter, and he's making himself a sandwich.
Hey! No, me this side. You, please, other side.
It'll be okay.
No. My dad's due any moment.
Eric, come on. Oh, Eric, right?
Now come back over.
If you want a sandwich, I can make you a sandwich.
I think he's kind of got a half-made sandwich, and he just starts eating on it.
You're paying for that, right?
At which point Sophia is no, he can have it. I'm Dad's okay with me giving a few away to friends. He's not like I mean, he's a good man. He's never objected to when I give stuff to Frank, and
that's true. All right. Well, anyway, back to let's get back to business here. So yeah, Arnold ran off. He's probably I only assume he's back at home. I do have something else to report. There's been a couple of security breaches. First of all, I let Arnold know who we were. I told Arnold who we were.
Wait, what?
I thought it'd be the best way. I thought it'd be the easiest way to get to him and find out what the deal was with that memento he had. Because if he was going to confide in us, we'd have to confide it. I'd say we'd, even though I really mean I would have to confide in him. It was a snap decision. I know I should have consulted you. I know that was a team decision, but I just had to make a snap decision.
Did you tell him who we all were? Or did he tell him who you were?
Well, I didn't. I don't think I named specific names. Is that correct?
Yeah, just yourself. You only revealed yourself.
Technically, I only revealed myself. But then,
okay.
yeah. But then, as I was putting my mask on, someone else caught sight of me. Do I remember who? Lowell?
It wasn't a girl that you recognized. I mean, it's a decent sized high school, so might have been a different year, different part.
Yeah, I just say some girl spotted me while I was putting my mask on. So yeah, 2 security breaches. Oops.
Tony, you can't do that. What if Father Waldo find out? He'd be angry. He won't like it.
Angry? He's gonna exercise me in front of my parents. But we're gonna have to worry about that later. I just wanted to report you. I just wanted you all to know that. Just to keep an eye out for, I don't know. Just be careful, I guess.
And important detail with that girl, she glowed. So she was clearly a prodigy like yourself.
Oh, there's another prodigy at high school?
Yeah, so
that's interesting.
So let's just hope that she keeps our secret, because I can only assume she's keeping her own secret because none of us knew about her before.
Okay, so what did she look like?
Perm. What salient details do I remember?
Darlene rolls her eyes so hard because every girl has
I know that was the first thing I said because I figured I'd most likely be right.
She's like, was she a prep?
Darlene, what I think actually, this is you trying to picture who it is. You know the girls better.
Exactly. So I'm like, I narrowed down by the important categories, like how she dressed, and so that tells me.
I think that's going to be a difficulty 3 intellect test.
Okay. All right. Well, I will spend 2 to make it easier because I can't.
3.
Well, I spend 2 points to get down 1, right?
No, because Darlene herself doesn't have an edge in intellect.
Oh man. Okay, I'll spend 3. I'll think hard. I want to impress everyone with my mental acumen.
Okay.
I'm rolling my eyes so hard. I have no idea that they think of that as unpleasant. So, okay, so I rolled, holy smokes, an 18.
Ooh.
Okay. So you will recognize her as a relatively new student who transferred in just a couple of weeks ago. And her name is, let me get that right here, just a second. Jasmine Blumenthal.
Jasmine Blumenthal?
Yeah.
Okay. So, like, is she pretty or rich?
She's, she clearly comes from a place where they were better off. Like, you have the sense that her dad moved here and they bought a house and he thought it was in the better part of town, but it's actually, in the north. And she's beginning to realize that they're not in the classy part of town. She's kind of got clearly some, maybe her mom might be Middle Eastern or Arab. She's got kind of an exotic cast to her skin that where she was before it might have been cool, and here it's just kind of weird,
All right. So everyone calls her New Girl Jasmine instead of anything with any respect?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So, hey, new girl. All right. Pecking order maintained. Awesome. Oh, yeah. That's the new girl, Jasmine. Jasmine Blumenthal.
Hey, it seems like there's a bunch of people, like there's this new Jasmine and there's that old dude with there's all these people who are like us.
Yeah. I mean, it's been a couple months since we made our masks. I guess it's inevitable that we wouldn't be the only ones. But we've also got. Do we know what the name is of the guy that attacked Sean? Who was that guy?
No, he didn't give a name. The first time that you've seen him,
he was doing some kind of weird aha thing, some kind of weird take on me thing.
Oh yeah, where his arm became all real. Yeah. That's pretty crazy. Well, it became metal, actually.
He flattened and turned into the aha video character and then disappeared.
Yeah. At the end.
And he was also turning it to metal?
Yeah, he turned his arm into metal.
Jeez, how many powers does that guy have?
I don't know. Hey.
Do you think that was a memento, or do you think that was his mask?
Did it seem like Arnold was a prodigy, or just that he had a thing?
As far as I could tell, he just had a thing. I didn't see him use any powers, but he panicked when I told him about it. So he's whatever he's got, he's freaked out by it, which is why it's up.
Tony, I'm going to ask a really important question here. Did he freak out before or after you put your mask on?
Well, he freaked out after I told him that I was a prodigy. After I told him that I was like him.
And showed the mask.
And showed the mask. Oh yeah, I showed the mask.
Yeah, because that's kind of a scary mask.
Well, yeah. I guess after I added all the sigils and the Bible scripture on it, yeah.
Or because it looks like a demon.
Well, he looks like He looks like a slobbery Slimer knockoff. I guess you could call that a demon. Never thought of it that well. What am I kidding? I've totally thought of it that way. Yeah, well, that's true. Maybe I'm just the one who scared him.
No.
Since
You
sorry, yeah, Soph?
Do you think he's going to be in school tomorrow?
I don't see why not. We all have to be at school tomorrow, right?
Well, yes, but
Oh,
just because
yeah.
we ought to be at school doesn't mean we end up going to school.
Yeah,
She'll look really embarrassed at this point.
Yeah, Tony realizes the faux pas he just made, and he just kind of stammers and then moves on to the next thing. Moves on to the conversation.
We can all go find him. Let's go see if we can find Arnold.
Yeah, I guess since we don't know where to find Take on Me, I guess the best thing we can do is look for Arnold.
Or we can look for Jasmine too.
Oh.
Maybe we should split up? Because if all four of us show up at this place, that might be scary, pretty scary. Maybe if only like a couple of us.
Do we know where he lives?
No.
I don't. The only place I can think of that would have his address is the school
and the phone book.
Yeah, we can look him up in the phone book.
Yeah, phone books.
Okay, yeah, we'll look him up.
So Arnold's last name is, let me get this here. I had it just a second ago. Desdero. How
many Desderos are there?
I imagine one in this city the size of Wayward's population 70,000.
Well, at least he wasn't called Smith.
Right.
Yes. All right. So he only lives about, I don't know, 3 or 4 blocks from here. But they're suburban blocks, so that doesn't mean anything. Okay, so we know where Arnold lives. Do we know where Jasmine lives?
Well, Blumenthal's aren't going to be in the phone book yet.
Yeah. But we have to have a decent sense of where she moved in. That would be the kind of intel that girls had on each other.
Okay.
She lives in the bad part of town. She lives on the
north side. Yeah.
She lives in the north side, but not in the bad part of north side, just in the okay side of north side. So we'll let's see, who would know that? Who do I know would have done a sleepover with Jasmine?
I have a question, Lowell. I'm just going over my character sheet again to see if I had any abilities that would help with this, and then I think I've got one.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess the question is, have I had a chance to practice my seek them out power?
I assume so.
Okay. I wonder if I should try to, if she's a full-on prodigy like us, Abraxas might be able to track her power. And I say that in a very conspirational whisper tone.
Well, we don't want to be seen. I mean, people are going to be looking for us as it is, and the toilet, the restroom is back there. She point to the back of the actual shop.
Yeah, I think I might need to go to the school to do this because that's where that's the only place I know for sure she would have left a power trail.
Okay.
That's assuming she's put on her mask at school, of course.
It's a good thing to try. You guys could gather together to do that. I will assume that Sophia, your dad arrives back. Doorbell, the storefront bell rings, comes in. He of course gives a little bit of side eye to Eric.
And Eric knows his place. And as soon as the dad comes in, kind of gives him the side eye, he kind of flips out the front door and just kind of loiters on the front, on the sidewalk in front.
Hey, honey.
Hiya, Papa. How did the delivery go?
Good, good. I actually got a line on something for the weekend, tomorrow through Saturday and Sunday. So I'm gonna have to start getting that together now. But your little friends are here.
Yeah,
Hi, Mr. DeMaio.
we were gonna go and hang out down the mall if that's okay.
Oh yeah, I heard that school got closed. Good thing you
Well-
didn't go then.
Yes. They've actually brought me my homework.
Oh, good. You kids already had lunch?
Actually, I don't know that we had.
You muted, Cherry.
Darlene looks out at the outside and sees Eric, and she's like, "Oh, actually, I haven't." Sort of
Just-
stop.
And you'll go, okay, honey, get your stuff together. Let me make up some nice sandwiches for your friends here.
Thanks, Papa.
Okay, yeah.
Are you gonna need me in tomorrow to help with this order?
You can tell he doesn't want to say yes in front of the kids, your friend. So he goes, no. If school's open tomorrow, yeah, it should be fine. I don't want you to miss school ever.
Okay, Daddy, but you know I'm here if you need me.
No, he says, look, so they're doing the coin and collectibles show at the mall. And I got an order from some of the people who are running the stands out in the causeway to do lunches there. So I can do that Friday night. So it'll be good. I'll just stay tonight. I can do some cutting, put it in the fridge, and then stuff. You got the keys to the house, right?
Yes, Daddy. And
Okay.
she'll run over and give him a peck on the cheek.
All right.
Love you.
Wraps up sandwiches, 4 sandwiches, sticks a bag of knockoff potato chips into each one. There's a pickle very carefully wrapped up there as well. And he'll hand you the bag there, Sophia.
Thank you.
Kids, run along and have fun.
I'll see you later, Papa.
Let's see you. I might be home late, okay?
Okay. I may be in bed when you get home.
Okay. Don't stay up too late.
I won't. I've got to be up for school in the morning.
And he looks at you and he will send you off with a wave and a sandwich.
Bye, Dad. Bye, Papa.
That was cool of your dad.
He's a good man, and he doesn't like to see people go hungry. He doesn't have a lot, but what he has, he gives freely.
Yeah, charity. That's pretty cool. Nice. So, all right. So, do we head back to school then?
I assume you can stop and like have sandwiches in the park before you go.
Oh yeah, that too.
And then when you get to them, Darlene doesn't have it. She doesn't have any of her. She eats the potato chips, and she's like, "I'm not hungry." She'll kind of go, "Do you want this, Eric?"
Yeah, I think Eric has eaten his one partial sandwich, eats his second that was in the bag, and then when Darlene offers him, he eats the third too.
And these are hefty sandwiches. Your dad did the extra slices of the meat, the salami, the prosciutto on everything there. A little provolone, dusted with a little oregano, olive oil, all the fixings there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna cast a Saigon glance between Darlene and Eric, as in, I'm trying to figure out if she's actually sweet on him or not.
It's impossible to tell. Her eyes are rolling so hard all the time.
No action is done unironically.
Exactly.
And you guys can get lunch, eat that, and then head over to the school. When you get to the school, you will see that there's police tape all around the parking lot. You'll see that there's a large group of bystanders there watching. Sophie, this is the first time you've seen it. There's a truck that's kind of the back end is torn off of it. And then there are a row of 6 cars where something has torn the top off of the cars. And you will see the back, like, loading end of the truck is embedded in a 7th car. And it is an absolute mess here.
I looks like convertibles are in this season, and she'll blush at just how bad the joke is, and
And I think it was Tony's tow truck, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That had pulled up?
Yeah. I will nudge Tony and point to the tow truck. Did your dad know you're here?
Oh, and I think I kind of, say no.
Keep out of the line of sight of Davey, the tow truck.
Davey.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's probably got one of these cars hooked up to drag away. Police are there. People are taking pictures with the big old cameras. They're not like newsreel cameras, but they're still pretty big. They've got all taking that. And I think I'm going to offer you, Eric, an intrusion.
Okay.
I'll offer you an XP.
Just to catch up, I'll give Sophie the XP.
Okay.
Sophia.
Kind of back away, and you kind of just to make sure you're out of line of sight of Davey, and you kind of bump into this guy, and you see this guy in a suit, tie, sunglasses, there, and he says, "You go to this school, son?"
So does he look dangerous, or like a reporter, or a cop, or?
He looks super official.
Oh. I say, they let us out of school. It's okay.
I know, son. Agent Soup, FBI.
Oh. Okay.
I wonder if I could ask you just a few questions.
Well, I think the teachers might have better answers. I don't know anything.
No, son. I'd like to get your perspective on what happened here.
This guy doesn't glow or anything, right?
Nope.
Okay. I say, yeah, I can tell you all about it. I saw it all.
What's your name?
I'm not going to get in trouble, am I?
No, just for my report here. Flips out a little notebook.
My name's Anthony Rivas.
Anthony Rivas. And why don't you give me a second? By this time, you three will notice that Eric has backed up a ways, and he's maybe 20, 25 feet away, and he's talking to this guy in a Men in Black suit.
Oh.
And he's And so, what did you see, Anthony?
What I saw was there was this. I saw this big fight going on. There was this like kick-ass guy with a guitar, and this old dude who had a metal arm, and he hit.
Doesn't blink.
Yeah. Well, a metal arm, like the wrestlers do, right? And he hit this big wrestler guy, and the wrestler guy threw part of the bumper of the truck to at him. He dodged it, and it was this big fight, and then the old dude ran off.
Like wrestling, do you?
Yeah.
WrestleMania 2 coming up this weekend, pay-per-view. Hulk Hogan versus King Kong Bundy. Big show. Understand that's what you kids are into.
Well, pay-per-view's expensive.
Yeah. That's good detail. Tell me, this flashy gentleman with the guitar.
Yeah.
Did you see him do anything with, say, that might have looked like a special effect?
Well, yeah, like the rock stars always have special effects. He
What did
sings
that look
really
like?
good. Oh, he sang really good, and there were lights and everything.
Interesting, interesting. I'm going to go over and talk to your friends over here.
Uh, oh, well, why do you need to talk to them?
I want to get everybody's perspective. Hey, you kids?
And I think Eric looks,
And
Come
yeah,
over here a minute.
I think my instinct would just make me want to come over, being all lawful and stuff.
What about you two?
well, I think Darlene and Sophia would like, she would kind of look at Sophia like, what? You know, because it's kind of weird. Sort of roll her eyes, walk over, kind of, but like with her arms super crossed and like real uncertain about what's going on and keeping her distance.
And Sophia will walk over with Darlene and yes, sir. You called, sir?
Agent Soup, FBI. I'd like to ask you a few questions.
Oh, I didn't. I haven't done anything wrong.
I didn't say you did, young lady.
What can I do to help?
I just were you at all three of you at school today?
No, I wasn't. I missed school. It's why I'm here. I'm come to get my stuff from my locker.
Mm-hmm. What's your name?
It's Sophie. Sophia DeMilo, sir.
Excellent. All right. And you, young lady?
Why are you taking our names?
Trying to get a full perspective on what happened here. We've got a lot of conflicting reports, so I want to be able to type up an accurate thing and do follow-up questions if I need to.
So I think I kind of step up at that point, and I say, yeah, actually, you took, well, that's not okay. Don't you have to talk to our parents before you get our names? And, I don't want to be in the paper or anything.
Interesting.
Eric, he's an officer of the Lord. You don't talk to him like that.
So I have a teen ability
Okay.
that in a tense situation escalates things.
God. Awesome.
Okay. So I think this is this FBI agent. He can ask you your names. Of course, you can, and you have the right to decline that, but he's not saying that. And you guys are kids to adults, so I think right now we're starting at a standing difficulty 5.
Okay. And I think it's just, don't you have to like talk to our parents or something before you get our names? And Eric, you think this is intellect? Yeah?
Yeah.
Is there any way I can support that? Because I do have my knowing laws.
Yeah.
Tony
No,
Reeves.
I think you're an asset, so I think that'll lower the difficulty to a 4.
Oh, so I didn't notice it. That I have a inability to blend in.
I was
or
coming
conceal
to
my
that.
Identity. So yeah, so that
Difficulty
means
goes back up to 5.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I was going to say he probably at this point knows that I gave him a fake name.
Not yet. He may
okay.
suspect it, but
Lowell, I just called Eric. So
oh, that's
okay.
right. Oh, good job. That's fantastic.
so yeah,
I think
he
you probably
does.
noted that down, right?
Yeah. So he's you're at difficulty 5, difficulty 4 if you use your teen power.
Oh yeah. So I'll do that, and then just to make it even, I'm going to spend 3 points because this is kind of thing Eric thinks is important,
Okay.
right? Because he doesn't want to get caught.
Difficulty 3.
Yeah. So let's roll that and see what I get. Oh, I got an 18.
Hey.
Nice.
Fair enough. I'll be checking in with various kids here. So at the school. So I'll probably catch you later if you feel pressured. I don't want to. It's probably a traumatic situation here today. So certainly, I will let you go. I just have one question for you before I head out. Have any of you seen any people carrying around masks?
What, like luchadors?
Yeah.
My dad
Like-
doesn't let me. My dad doesn't let me watch wrestling. He says it's fake.
Well, that's fair enough. But any of you seen anyone carrying masks around?
On
Halloween masks or wrestler masks or anything? Oh, hang on, that's my beeper. Check.
Sorry, that was my phone going saying it's
Okay.
power.
I think Darlene's like, no, that would be like so weird.
Exactly, but this was pretty weird today, right?
Yeah, but like stuff like that happens here sometimes.
What actually happened here today?
We're still trying to figure that out. I would hope that all of you would be willing when I come back to talk to you to give me your full cooperation to get to the bottom of this. Nobody was injured here today, but
What do you think? You think these people with the masks are are they criminals? Are they hurt people?
well, and he gestures to the parking lot where you see them pulling the tow truck away.
Well,
I think the evidence speaks for itself.
yeah. So they're dangerous, and so do you have a card we can take? So if we find anything out, we can call you.
Here's my card.
Thank you.
He will nod. He's taking up too much of your time, and you'll see him go and walk back towards the parking lot.
Hmm.
Ugh.
He was quite cute, wasn't he?
What?
He was quite cute.
You are so weird, Sophie.
What?
So
I like
he's
men in suits.
old.
I like men in suits. I'll cast a sidelong glance at Tony at that point.
I tell him,
Right.
don't worry. I gave him a fake name. It's okay.
That's a good end line for the 5-minute break that we're going to take here. So let's take 5 and we'll come back.
Hilarious.
Welcome back.
Hello.
I had completely forgotten about Striper.
Oh. How could you?
I remembered them because there's a kid in my high school who got kicked out for a day because he was wearing a Striper t-shirt that said "To hell with the devil,"
Ah,
and the school was like, "That's not okay. You know, you can't have curse words on your shirts," and sent him home.
I remember hearing that was a thing back then.
Yeah. Of course, when they had their reunion album back in 2013, the name of the album is, of course, Second Coming. It's like it's a little on the nose there, but fair enough. Wow, yeah, I'd forgotten about that. All right, so you've dealt with Agent Soup, and he has headed out to look into things. You're a little bit shaken, and it's my understanding that you want to try and kind of pick up a trail. Then,
Yeah, it's a bit of a tenuous plan because it assumes that Jasmine has actually put on her mask at school, and two, done it within the past 24 hours. But since our phone book plan has been thwarted, I don't have any other great ideas for how we can do this. Plus, it's another power I get to dust off and try out. So, if anyone else has any other...
If this doesn't work, we can always break into the school office and actually go through the student records.
Well, that's not... Yeah, I'm out for the plan. Anthony, I don't know. I don't know if he's out for that plan, but I'd be out for that.
Yeah, I'd say that, like, if you suggest that, it's like Darlene's like, while she's completely cool doing crazy superhero stuff, the whole breaking into the office just is beyond the pale for her.
Yeah, now if you suggest that while I have my mask on, all bets are off. But I guess
And Eric's
maybe
totally there. I'm sorry, go ahead.
You're right. Oh yeah, you're down for the party.
And Eric's totally there if we can change my grades.
Yeah, war game style.
so we've got you've picking up this trail. One of the challenges here, the difficulties is that a bunch of masks have operated in this area in the recent past.
Yeah.
So the question will be, you can isolate at least your powers out because you know each other pretty well. But there's potential for some other things. So I think we're going to start at here's what I'm going to say. You're definitely going to be able to follow the trail. I think it's going to be difficulty 5 to follow the trail that you want.
Mm. Well, even if we follow the trail we don't want, I mean, if we follow a trail that's not any of the team, I mean, that's a useful information too.
Oh, absolutely. There's no worries. It's a win-win.
As long as they don't get caught.
So you're going to put on your mask.
Yeah, and ask everyone if they could, watch out for Soup and anyone else.
Here's the thing: is if she had a mask, it would have been in her her locker. So I've got problem or puzzle solving and speculative thinking, and so in the sense of going, I think if we start from where her locker is, that we should be fine.
That's a good idea.
I'll give you an asset towards that. So we'll say difficulty 4.
All right. So I guess we get back in and start at Jasmine's locker. And fortunately, we don't have security cameras yet everywhere.
Nope.
Are there still people going to be around school? Because if we're doing this in the hallway where the lockers are, someone may come across us, the janitor, or I think we need to have people down either end of the corridor to stop people turning in. Just
Sure.
so they don't see you with your mask on.
That makes sense. The school, of course, one of the things about schools at these times, especially after this, is doors are unlocked, so it's very easy to actually come on in. and a lot of people are out, at the parking lot, that kind of thing. So let me have you make that roll.
Okay, so we're working with a difficulty of 4, which means right now I have to roll 12 or higher.
That is it.
Okay, and now I've got mask points to play with.
Yeah.
This is an intellect roll.
Yes, it is.
Let's make that. I'll spend 3 points on that.
Actually, it only costs you 2 because you have an intellect edge of 1.
Oh, I got you. Thank you. So
now you need a 9 or better.
Well, in that case, I'll spend another 2 points and make it down make it 6.
You wish you could, but your effort is limited.
Okay. Fantastic. Okay, then I need to roll a 9. Let's roll to your party. I like to die, and just made it. I rolled an 11.
Okay, so you will pick up a trail from there, and you guys, and you spent 1 intellect point to activate the power, so take that off too.
Oh, great.
And so you can take that and head to a house.
Can we actually track that trail without the mask on?
No.
Oh, so we have an issue here.
How so?
Well, in order to track that, you've got to go outside with your mask on.
True. I may have to stealth it a bit. I am. Braxis is a stealthy creature. Now, stealthing with like 3 teenagers following me might be a different matter. But I don't know. I could always just find out where she is myself and then come back, and then we can all head over there together. So we don't all have to stealth together. That's something we should do.
Why don't we wait a little bit, come back when it's dark, and then go when there's less people outside? And maybe that is the best call to do the actual approach later on when there aren't so many eyes about. How do we feel about that, team?
My parents will be home.
Oh, which means
time.
Okay.
It was the time.
All right. Well, we'll just have to do this now and try to be as sneaky as possible. Hope that everyone's distracted by cleaning up at the school, that they're not noticing us walking about randomly and me with a mask. I'll try to be stealthy.
Okay.
All right. So I think that they have no problem not being noticed. It is Abraxas. You are sneaking through. You do have stealth, but you are a big red thing. It is daytime. You do know the place, so I'm going to say difficulty 5.
Okay. Well, let's see what I can do about that. This is a speed thing?
Speed thing.
No,
Okay.
Is there any way we can actually go outside and be talking to the police and specifically Agent Soup to try and distract him while?
I assume you can do that. The problem is more the rest of the trip. Getting spotted along that way. I'll assume you can get him out of the building without a problem. It's the rest of the trip that will be the real challenge. Does that seem fair?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the potential consequences: Soup or the police spotting you are off the table. Local citizenry spotting you is on the table.
Okay.
Now I see for Brax's skill or stealth is a intellect skill.
Yeah, it's actually supposed to be speed. I think that's a mistake on my part.
Oh, okay. Let me just switch that over. Okay, so I could now. Can I? So I can spend 3 speed points to reduce the difficulty by 1.
Yeah. So you went from 5 to 4 with the stealth skill.
Okay.
And if you spend effort, you'll go from 4 to 3.
Okay. Let's see. And I can only do that once.
That is true.
Okay, so that's 3 points, right?
Yep.
Because I don't have an edge. Okay, so I've spent that, and now I've reduced the roll requirement to a 9.
To 9.
All right, here we go. Oh, 13. All right.
13. So you will stealth through,
Curling around like this.
Yeah. Because your companions kind of know what to look for, they are able to follow at a distance, and you will arrive at a. So this is the it's not the new upscale wealthy built part of town, but these are the older houses of town. They're the nicer houses on the north side, lawns and stuff like that, a little bit larger, maybe even, dating back to, the 1910s, 1920s, that kind of thing. So old for America. And
I was about to say.
yes. And the trail will lead to this house. You see, it's a bigger house, nice big lawn. It's got like a carriage house / garage out back. The whole thing actually, it's abuts onto a hill. The line of these houses, and there's kind of a short wooded hill behind the house. There's a fence. According to people, not supposed to go there. It leads down. Down below, there's maybe a park and a tennis courts and like a grade school nearby. The street's actually brick here.
Okay. Now that we've made it to our location, I think I'll unmask.
Okay.
Oh, I guess this is the place.
Wow. I thought we'd all mask up.
I don't think.
Maybe.
I think let's save that for the next fight.
Let's hope that there's not going to be a fight. Let's think positively, not negatively. But
Well, sure. God willing, this won't be a problem. Let's see. How do we think we should approach this?
Ring the doorbell. Ask for Jasmine.
Okay. Who wants to take a lead on this? Maybe I'm already forgetting Babylon's name.
I think
Darlene.
Darlene, thank you. Darlene herself. Maybe actually he'd probably promote Darlene because she's probably better talking to strangers than Soph would be. Tony would imagine.
I think we just got Sherry.
Yeah, we'll wait till she comes back, and then we'll do that.
Okay.
See if I can. Let's see.
I think Eric says it's probably not a good idea that all four of us go up there. So, maybe you can ask her to come back out to here.
Yeah, maybe the two girls want to just head up to the door front. Maybe.
Okay. What are we going to say? What when her parents ask why we're here? What are we going to say?
We'll say that we're friends of Jasmine. Her parents don't know any better, and Darlene will
I'll be delighted she has friends.
Yeah, she's the new girl after all. Sure.
Yeah. Also, don't call her new girl when you're up there.
Rolls her eyes. It's over. Rings the doorbell.
Okay. Hang on 1 second here. All right. So he will ring the doorbell, and a person answers it, and a woman, a little bit older, and she says, "Yes, can I help?"
Yeah, is Jasmine home?
May I ask who is calling?
Yeah, My name is Darlene, and this is Sophia.
Hello.
We go to school with her.
I will see if Miss Jasmine is home. Come into the hall.
Thank you.
Step in. Wood floors. You can see there's like a spiral staircase up to the second floor. It looks like there's a study off that way. The goes into the like there's a dining room with sliding doors, and the house goes on back there. You'll imagine there's probably a second servant's thing. And rather than yelling up for Jasmine, she actually this woman goes up the stairs.
I'll look around and I'll give a glance to Darlene. Like, what is this person doing going to school with us if she lives like this?
Darlene's like looking at their candy jar that they have right there by the thing. She's like, oh, they have good candy.
Oh yeah,
It's like Snickers and the little fun size
Yeah.
ears.
It's not even Halloween, and they've got
more like
those.
European like strawberry candies and things like that. They're very nicely wrapped. They're very beautiful. Delicious toffees.
Yeah. I mean, I don't take any. I just look at them.
Okay. And
I'll make sure to wipe my feet on the mat. I don't want to get this floor dirty.
okay. You will see this girl come down the stairs. And of course she walks in, and when she gets a glance at you, of course you can see the halo on her, and she can see the halo on you, and she just freeze, and you see her kind of look up, and she goes back up the stairs, and when she comes back down, she's got like a backpack with her.
Okay.
Hi, Jasmine. I heard what happened at school today. I wanted to make sure you're okay. And I'll have a look around to see if any of the servants are nearby.
There's probably the woman who went up to get her comes back down and says, I'll get tea and lemonade. And Jasmine says, no, you don't have to do that.
Yeah. So we just came to see if you wanted to hang out.
Who are you?
It's a good question. My name's Darlene.
She says, we should probably step outside.
Yeah. It's a nice day out there. Let's go and sit on the lawn.
And she looks back up again upstairs.
Yeah. Like there's someone up there?
Yeah. We should go outside onto the front porch.
Okay.
Okay.
And she will step outside with you. And she kind of looks at you too. She goes, why'd you come here? How'd you find me? Are you with that devil kid?
Devil Kid told us about you.
It was really stupid to change like that out in front of the school. I don't know what he was thinking.
He's worried about a friend of his.
We've come to well, not give you a warning, but give you some information. I'll take out the card from Agent Soup and hand it over to her. There was a man at the school today asking about people with masks, and show her the card.
She'll take that. And I'm going to put an intrusion on you at this point, Sophia.
Okay.
Okay. I'll give you a point, and you can give a point to somebody else. Who do you want to hand that off to?
I think I'll hand it off to Darlene, given that we're both there talking to her.
Okay.
So you two are kind of step back away onto the porch. She's still kind of by the door, and she's got that card in her hand. And that front door, the screen door of it, will come open, and somebody goes, "Snatch!" and actually says "snatch" as she grabs it out of her hand. And you will see there are these two, like, twin kids, maybe a year younger. You haven't seen them at school, but they're clearly of school age, and they both have that glow around them. And when they come out, she actually goes pale.
Okay.
And this kid goes, "Ooh, FBI. Soup." Hey, his name is Soup. Soup is good food.
Hey, who are you?
Who are you? You're on our porch.
Oh. And I look at Jasmine. I'm like, your little brother?
These are my little brothers. Yes.
Oh,
Why don't you introduce us? Go ahead, Jasmine. This is Travis, and this is Tony.
Hey, Travis and Tony.
And they kind of push out onto the front porch. I assume at this point, so we've got now five people on that front porch. It's gotten a little crowded. The glow is there. Eric, Anthony, you've probably been watching at a distance, I assume?
Yeah, like from across the street.
Kind of watching. And now you see your two friends are on the porch. You see Jasmine, they're talking, and then these two boys come out, and they both are glowing.
So I think Eric actually has his mask out, and he's itching to put it on. He's sitting there with that, like, just waiting.
I think Darlene's going to ask, like, well, I haven't seen you guys at school. How old are you?
15?
Why aren't you at school?
They look at each other. We get tutoring.
Oh.
And the other one goes, "We don't play well with others."
Oh. Well,
No,
that's something to brag up.
No, you take other people's stuff, and I'll snatch the card back.
I want you to actually make a speed test here. Difficulty 3.
Okay. I hate roll for your party. There you go. And I roll a 1.
Okay. You go to grab at it, and he actually kind of pulls it back fast, and you will, because you described yourself as clumsy before, right?
Yeah.
There is that moment where you actually fall down to your knees, and there's that, you can hear the sound of her knee hitting that wooden porch and banging it, and you know there's going to be a bruise on it.
Okay.
And he goes, and Jasmine has stepped back at this point to get
Like
in the room.
Like she's expecting something bad to happen?
Yes.
And I'll say, well, if you don't play well with others, then you should just stay here. I mean, it's kind of how it rolls, doesn't it? And I'll help Sophia up.
Okay. Let me check and see what is going on then. Anthony, Eric, you're across the street. Eric's itching for the thing, and you'll see Sophia actually fall on the porch. What do you do?
So I think Eric, when he sees Sophia kind of fall, he, steps out from, I guess, the tree that they're behind or anything, and actually steps partway across the sidewalk, as if he's headed over there.
Anthony?
Yeah, he'll reluctantly follow Eric into
Okay.
this, and I'll just say, okay, let's keep it cool. This doesn't have to be a fight scene. It doesn't have to be a fight scene. It's going to be a fight scene, but it's not. It doesn't have to be a fight scene.
And Jasmine sees those two coming across the street, and if she could get more pale, she does. And Darlene, what do you want to try and do here? Do you want to try and shut them down? Do you want to get it off the porch?
Yeah,
What do you want
that's
to do?
absolutely what I'm trying to do. Is I'm trying to go. They're little brothers, and we're leaving them behind. It is the first and foremost skill of teenage girls, which is getting rid of little brother types.
So they are unpleasant sociopaths.
Yes.
But you are going to try and shut them down.
Yes.
So they are level 5 for effect here.
Okay. So, well, I specialize in unpleasant social interactions. So
Is that one of your teen skills?
it is one of my teen skills in the sense that, yeah, I'm very bad at pleasant ones.
Well, I just realized we've got good cop and bad cop here, because I've got the other thing. I've got the pleasant social interaction skill.
So if you want to write in one of your teen skills as like shutting down.
Okay. That would be perfect, because I think that she's doing it all the time anyway. So, yes.
So 5 goes to a 4.
Okay. And is this would be intellect? Okay, I'll spend the points on that.
Okay. So 3 points from intellect pool.
Okay.
4 goes to 3.
So that means I need to hit a 9 or above?
Yes, it does.
Okay. I will give that a try. I rolled a 14.
Okay. So there is that thing. I mean, they feel pretty powerful about themselves. They clearly have masks. They're clearly used to having the kind of the run of the house, but their sister doesn't talk back to them like this, and you do, and they do kind of freeze deer in the headlights there with the, and
she rolls her eyes.
It strikes nearly like a physical effect. As you get move them off the porch, Jasmine just follows to the steps, but doesn't follow you down the sidewalk.
And she kind of turns back and she goes, I think you're going to need some backup. Might as well come along.
And probably at this point, Anthony, Eric, you've hit the sidewalk. You see this where the situation is right now. Do either of you two say anything? You can see that Sophia has badly scraped her knee.
I'll just say sheepishly say, "Hey, Jasmine, how's it going?"
It is going.
Yeah, I just hope I brought over some friends of mine, and I'll just start introducing everyone by first names only.
Okay.
And just wanted to like talk about you guys should get
moving.
Sure. Let's take a walk.
Jasmine, how does your parents feel about how your brothers act?
There's a reason they don't go to school.
Thank you. At which point I'm going to burst loudly into tears and start grasping my knee.
Okay. Oh. And she says, my parents are home. My parents aren't home.
No, but the servants are.
And you will probably, certainly, she goes, you don't want to do that. If the servants talk back to them, it's not going to be good for the servants.
Hmm.
Okay.
Maybe we should sit down somewhere.
Do you sit with anyone at recess in school?
At lunch hour?
Yeah.
No, but I'm new.
Come and see us tomorrow. We will save you a seat.
Okay, well, you guys should get going.
Okay.
So do you think you might want to be a part of our band? Part of our group? I mean, what can you do?
She looks at you.
And Eric's still holding his mask out, like itching.
He goes, "Who are you, Pinecone?"
Oh, I'm Eric.
She rolls her eyes hard.
Is Darlene impressed?
No. No. So she goes, yeah, we'll see you tomorrow then.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, lunch. We'll make it lunch. Yeah. Just wanted to make sure everything's cool, and we can talk more tomorrow.
Okay.
All right. Good talk.
Wait.
Oh.
What about you have an FBI?
He
Yeah.
was at
Go ahead.
sorry, he was at the school asking questions.
He was asking questions about people who have masks, but it's okay. We all gave him fake names. And I think at that point, Eric kind of puts his mask back.
There, he's gonna. I just know he's gonna be right at my doorstep when I get back.
She will kind of back away. She'll agree to speak with you at lunch tomorrow. But kind of that sort of reluctant thing to it.
Right.
And it is the thing. There are 5, 7 of you, people with masks, sort of together. That many masks in an area, things felt a little off, a little weird. Like, part of the reason that you stumbled there, Sophia, is that the world kind of lurched a little for you when you move forward. Like, you could definitely feel that strangeness.
Did anyone else feel that?
What was the nature of it? Like, did it feel more Babylon Pie's world? Did it, I mean, like for each of us, did it feel like more like our Masks world? Or did it feel like something else that they're all, I don't know.
Like having this many of these masks together in one place was starting to cause problems.
Oh.
Well, so much for expand. Well, I don't know what that means about possibly even. I don't know what that means about the possibility of expanding the team. That's kind of a buzzkill.
Well, just have to work in smaller teams. That's all.
Squads, yeah.
Squads.
Break down squads.
I'll grab Tony's arm. Bagsy Tony. Bagsy Tony. Oh, wait a minute. Sorry, I just realised she just realised what she's talking about and what people are talking about, and leave go and looks very, very embarrassed. Not that she's sweet on Tony in any way, shape, or form, but
yeah. Well, let's. I guess that was a good idea about inviting her to lunch. I think that was definitely a good call. But I guess we just lay low until lunch.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, did you get any sense from Arnold of what it was he had?
I didn't. He just ran off before. I was hoping he'd show me show me his memento, but he just ran off, and then the fight started. And then that was when I noticed the fight. But yeah, I guess we still have to talk to him, right?
So you got a couple of choices.
Mm-hmm.
We could have everybody go home and do a home scene, and then a cut to tomorrow at school. Or if you want to go and try and track down Arnold now, you could do that.
I personally think the easiest way to talk to him is probably going to be in school tomorrow.
Yeah, I've probably been out long enough as it is. Prayer time should prayer time should be about over for me. So I'm checking my digital watch and.
Okay.
Yeah, if you say that out loud, Darlene literally looks at you like.
Prayer time. What? It keeps me balanced. It's not easy controlling Abraxas.
Okay.
Not all of us have like masks that are like super cool and awesome. Some of them are this. Anyway.
Do you think you've ever kind of talked about that is an issue before to the group?
Well, yeah, it probably would take a couple months of weird super stuff before the real personal stuff starts creeping out, right?
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I don't know if we've really hashed it over extensively.
So,
I'm certain
that may be the first time that the others have heard you kind of talk about there maybe being some issue between you and your mask.
Oh yeah, probably. Yeah, I'm sure that's the first time I've let that slip.
So
let's go on.
masks are tied to us, right?
Masks are tied to you. They are things that you've built, but they have their own distinct personalities.
Can we try on each other's masks?
That's a good question. How do our masks interact?
They don't. The masks don't want to be touched by other people. I mean,
Okay.
there's a strong feeling when you try to do something like that, and even if you overcome that, it won't do anything.
Okay.
So let's cut to like an evening. Let's do a quick home scene if we can, and then we can cut to stuff back. Since it seems like Eric, you got a little bit less time there in that scene. Let's start with you, okay?
Okay. Yeah.
So what do you come home to? What's the scene that we see after all of this?
So I think Eric kind of loiters and doesn't go home as soon as, as quickly as he can until he kind of gets hungry. And where it gets to be dinner time, I think that's whenever he, okay, I'm going to show up, and comes in. I think where he comes in, his dad's like, you were supposed to be helping out at the garage. He gets cuffed a little bit.
I had to get down in the bay myself because I said, Davey, out to go get the cars, and you were supposed to do that oil change, and I came down there, you hadn't done jack shit.
Yeah. Okay. I think I sit down at the dinner table.
And he pulls a Hungry Man out of the freezer, throws it on the table, and he goes, "You know your stuff."
Okay. And I think he turns on the oven and, puts the Hungry Man into the oven.
Okay. And I forgot, what's the status with your mom?
I think she works.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she's not home quite yet. Your dad's gotten that call where she has to do another shift. And he probably argues with her for a bit on the phone. And he'll grab himself there's some Wonder Bread. He'll grab some of that and some cheese slices and a beer and go and sit and watch Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy.
Yeah. And I think Eric just waits, in the kitchen for a little bit. I think he has this old beat up Walkman that he puts on, and it's kind of got tape around the earphones and everything, and it's those big foam earphones.
Oh yeah.
And he puts a tape on, and you can hear this tinny heavy metal music, hair metal music kind of coming out. Yeah.
And I assume you're not a great part of town. Probably near some businesses and things like that. Over a little bit. That seems fair.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to see from that scene?
No, I don't think so. I think it's, we kind of see through the window and we see him just kind of sitting there. It's sort of like this music is his world. He's blocking everything else out until dinner's ready, eats it, light turns off, all that. Yeah.
Okay. What about you, Sophia?
Okay, when I get home, my father isn't home yet. He's still at the deli working.
Yep.
And so when I get home, I actually go home and I start cooking dinner for him. I get a ragu on, I get cooking, I put it down on the table, and I wait.
Okay.
And I wait. And eventually, when he still hasn't come home by my bedtime, I basically write a note, leave it on the worktop, and put the dinner in the oven for him, keep it warm.
And he won't. He is there making up sandwiches, wrapping things. Calculating what he has to order from the supplier tomorrow to cover this extra stuff. and getting all that together. What about you, Anthony?
Yeah, I'll sneak back through my bedroom window. Hope I'm not busted. I assume still got my Christian rock on repeat.
Yeah, it's the tape has done the auto flip and then the auto flip and
All
then
right, cassettes,
the reverse thing.
Yeah.
You probably got one of those boom boxes.
Sure. I'll go in there. Do I see any signs of disturbance? Do I see any signs of being busted?
Doesn't look like it.
Okay, well, let's hope that's the case. I'll sneak in. I'll close the window and actually do a bit. I'll actually get my prayer time in. And once that's done, I'll step out and see if my ruse remains underused.
Yeah. Your mom's there. She says, "Oh, that was your dad on the phone."
Oh, is everything okay?
The pastor's doing an extra recording tonight. Taping some things, given what happened today at the school. So your dad's sticking around to help out.
Okay. Well, I'll definitely be tuning into that when that comes on.
Okay. What do you imagine is a typical fare for your family?
A typical who?
Typical food, typical fare.
Probably a mix of traditional family stuff and traditional, more quote unquote American fare.
Okay. So your mom will serve that out to you, and then she will go and read. The new Reader's Digest arrived today, so she's going to sit and work her way through that. And also the new TV guide. So she's got her highlighter to mark out shows she wants to watch, and a red pen to mark out shows that you're not supposed to watch.
Yeah, it just occurred to me. Is this? Yeah, I hope she's not marking a red pen on Mistress of Science, is she?
She knows you like it, so there's probably that moment where her pen hovers over that and then moves on.
It's like they know we exist.
Yes.
Except they don't wear masks. Anyway.
Sherry, for Darlene, what's the home scene for Darlene?
Well, I think Darlene has a thing of, like, when she gets home, she is supposed to do certain things to get ready for the meal. She's expected to make it entirely, but she's supposed to, like, do the tossed salad, set the table, do all of those things. So you see her, and she has a nice Walkman, and she has a lot of tapes. So her thing is that she comes out, she's put one of her tapes in that she's listening to, but she's also brought like 3 others with her, and they're all, sorry, the cat's stomping on my machine so she can set the accessibility settings off and on. So she essentially has that, but she has all these mixtapes, and they're essentially, everything is a bunch of singles and stuff that have been put together, or her favorite songs off of obscure albums, and all the names of the songs are written in on the box, and they're decorated with like all these, pictures of, like, she's drawn in eyes and lips and all of those things. It's very, very 80s and everything. And she has like a big stack of these. So she's picked out her 4 for the evening, and she's listening to those as she's putting together a tossed salad, setting the table. She's put the things out to defrost. Oh, they got the microwave, so she's got the frozen chicken in there defrosting, and stuff like that.
I've forgotten siblings.
No. Well, she probably has an older brother, but he's at college.
Okay. And your mom and dad?
They both work at Fun Time or Funshine. He's the accountant. Yeah.
Your dad, actually, you're kind of surprised. Your dad comes home and you hear him come in, and then he goes back out and he comes in again and goes back out and comes back in again. And then you hear him rummaging around, doesn't come, right away into the dining room.
All right. And I'll kind of go out and go, Dad, do you need any help?
No. This is great. You're going to love this.
Okay.
And he will go over and you see him unboxing like a keyboard and a machine and a tape drive and a big 5.5 inch disk drive and stuff. And he goes, so we got some new stuff in, and they gave some of us that had kids a Commodore 64.
Oh.
And he pulls out these boxes,
Uh-huh.
and you're like, oh, those actually are more modern video games. You're like, new ones. And then you realize they're like not quite.
And I'm like,
One is like Akari Warriors instead of Ikari Warriors. There's Chop Drifter, and Ride on Bingling Ray, and he's like, so we're supposed to try these out here. So maybe this weekend you can get this. He gestures to it like a man who doesn't know how to put a computer together.
okay. Sure. These things have like MIDI players that you can get for them.
And that is a what?
It plays music. You can like write your own with computer software.
Okay. I don't. He looks through the box. I don't think I have anything like that in here, but
That's okay. We can go to Radio Shack. But
okay.
But she sort of sits
Oh,
down.
I love Radio Shack.
Me too. Not as much as the record store, but almost.
Well, we'll go there this weekend. They got a hobby show going on.
Okay. Oh, I think they have Tamagotchis, don't they?
Tamagotchis are not yet.
Oh, dang it. All right.
So yeah, he will kind of get this, and he gets one of the rooms kind of set up to do this, and these are a lot of the instruction manuals on the games are not in English, or they're sort of in English, kind of. Drive tape, insert present thing.
All right. Except we've all had keyboarding in high school, right?
Yep.
So you're doing that on those kinds of things anyway. So she's kind of familiar with the basic stuff of putting the software in and getting it set up. As long as it functions, she can probably get it set up.
And all of you, they've kind of described that you guys live within a reasonable distance of one another. I think we've established that, right?
Yeah. I think we all live in the same sort of area in the north town.
I think I live south, actually.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Well, but we've established. I just for the purposes of this, I think we've kind of got that, because you would have had to walk the 10-15 minutes to get to the school and to them. So it probably works over there. It is now, say, 11:30 at night. Some of you have turned in. Some of you are probably still banging at that point, when you will kind of hear in the distance like an explosion. And if you look out the window, you can see there's maybe like an orange pillar rising off from a place a few blocks away. Let's start in this. Let's do the same order we just did. It's probably the flash that makes you notice it, Eric. And then you'll hear the woof.
Yeah, so I think that Eric's actually lying in bed. Lights are out because, it's too late. But he's still listening to his Walkman. But he's turned down the volume a little bit. And he sees this flash, and kind of takes off his headphones, and that's whenever he kind of feels this bump, almost like a loud sound or a thunder or something like that,
right?
And I think he's kind of he looks out and he sees this column of, is it fire?
Yeah, it looks like something blew up.
Ooh. Yeah, this is totally up for Eric. So he grabs, some jeans and a t-shirt real quick and hops into him. His jean jacket and kind of, I think he looks around, puts on the mask, and jumps out the window.
Okay. Out the window. Sophia, you know your dad still isn't home.
I'm up in my bedroom. I hear I feel it more than actually hear it itself. I get up. I go to the window. Should I no?
I hear that. Put me on. If you want to put
I was about to say the mask's sitting on her nightstand.
put me on.
My dad's waiting. My dad's waiting.
No, come on, just put me on.
But there could be people who are hurt.
Exactly, put me on.
I'll slip out. I'll step out of my night clothes. I'll put something on hurriedly, and I will reach for the mask and hesitatingly, and go through my metamorphosis.
Okay. And probably there's that. Isn't that better?
Let's do this.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do this.
Anthony.
No stuttering there.
Yeah.
It's definitely time to get into action. I'll take out Abraxas and I'll say a prayer to bind him, in the holy service, and I will slip the mask on and let the mist roll over me.
Okay.
And then I'll just start skulking at all speed towards the flaming column of fire.
Perfect. And what about Darlene? Muted.
So yeah, she wakes up and she's kind of rooting around because she's got to dress quietly. She can't find her cool jeans, so she's got to wear her at-home jeans, the Wranglers, and she puts a hoodie on, and she can't hear anyone get, around. No one's woken up at the house, right?
Not really. Your parents sleep pretty soundly.
Okay, so she's got her Keds on. It's like she totally looks like a schlub, but there's nothing she can do about it because she's got to get dressed in the dark. She grabs her mask and she waits. She runs out until she's a few houses away before she puts it on because it's always a little bit noisy.
The big flash transform.
Yeah, and it's just that kind of thing of the sound of someone doodling on a synthesizer. They're tuning it, but you don't tune a synthesizer.
And we will cut to the four of you arriving and kind of following, kind of rushing. A few blocks away is a Ramada Inn. It's a motel. It's decent. And as you come up, you can see that a car has blown up in the parking lot. There's flames there. There's windows are shattered everywhere. People are running. You see there, and you will see that there are these two figures. One of them is in a checkerboard pattern of black and white, and the other one is in a checkerboard pattern of white and black. One of them has where there should be a face, there's just this light that's glowing. And the other one, where there should be a face, it kind of looks like an anatomical dummy, like that sort of half skin face thing. And one of them has this guy who you will recognize as Agent Soup, and he is flinging him, playing catch with him. So I need everybody to roll an initiative test against a difficulty of 5. This will essentially determine whether you go before or after them. If you have initiative as a skill, if it's trained, it'll go down by 1. If it's specialized, it'll go down by 2.
Okay.
I rolled a 16.
Okay.
I'm going to use a speed point to reduce my difficulty by 1.
Okay.
Using my danger sense.
That sounds good to me.
I rolled a 3.
Okay,
So
so,
I
you're
go
going after. So, Sherry.
And I rolled a 19, so I get to go before.
Oh, yeah. Effect Abraxas with the 19, you're probably going to be first one on scene.
Woohoo. Okay. Well,
Sorry, how can I ask? How do we actually do initiative? Is it just roll a d20 and?
Yeah. So difficulty is 5. So
Okay.
you do it like a test, and you're trying to beat the bad guy value. If you do get above the test value, then you go first. Otherwise, you go after them.
Okay. Well, I've rolled another 1.
ooh.
Okay. So you are going to be actually last person in the round, Laser Flip, or you could spend an XP to reroll.
No, I think I'm okay at the moment.
Okay.
I have an update. I can see your die now, though.
Weird.
Yeah, for whatever that's worth.
That's so weird.
It's yellow.
Yeah. So strange. All right, Abraxas, you will see these. You don't know who they are, but you'll see these twin masked
I have a guess.
guys being just playing with this FBI agent, and they clearly caused a bunch of destruction here already. What do you want to do?
Yeah. So I'm just looking over my abilities to see what could be most useful for protecting Agent Soup. And I don't know that I have anything that's really that protective, so I'm gonna go for trying to disabling the bad guys. Whoever's closest to Agent Soup, the one now, does he actually have Agent Soup in hand, or is he tossing him around?
They're playing like toss with him.
Oh, I see. In that case, yeah, whoever is about to catch him next, that's the person I'll try to ensnare an entangling force, and I'll assume that I assume they're not throwing him with like killing force, right?
No, they're
like,
playing
playfully
with him.
tossing. Yeah, so if he lands on the ground, it won't be too bad. In the meantime, I'll try to entangle one of them. I see the cost is 1 plus an intellect point.
So let's look at the entangling force.
Yeah.
Level 2 construct. You can increase the level of the force snare by 1 per level effort. So you could spend a level of effort to make a level 3 construct for it.
Yeah, if these dudes are car smashing, I'll probably want to jack up the power level.
Okay, so spend 1 on that, or spend the effort on that, and then to hit them, you're going to need to hit a difficulty 5 to hit them.
And by effort, do you mean what? Where am I? Is there an actual effort stat or?
No, it'll actually be you'll spend the intellect pool, so it'll cost you 2 points.
Okay, so let's do that. So I see one just to activate it, 1 to increase it up by a level.
Yep.
All right, and then to hit, I'm rolling
difficulty 5.
5. Okay, once again,
your necromantic attacks are trained, so it becomes difficulty 4.
Oh, cool. And that's another intellect ability. Yes, it is.
Yep.
So in this case, I think I'll spend. Can I spend another 2 to bring that difficulty down 1 more?
Yep, absolutely.
Okay. Well, yeah. All right, I'll do that. So now the difficulty is 3.
Difficulty 3.
Roll 9, and I roll. Oh, here's my first bad roll of the day, and it's an unfortunate one to pick because I rolled a 6.
Roll a 6. Do you want to spend an XP to reroll?
Yeah, I'm doing relatively well on experience points, sure. Plus, I'm not sure if I'll be coming back again, so let's spend it while I got them. So now I get to reroll. Same difficulty level, still 3.
Yes, still 3.
That's fortunate. And now it's not meant to be. It is not meant to be.
Luckily, nothing bad happens because you take the higher of those 2 rolls. So what does that look like when you do that effect?
I'm belching out ectoplasm.
Okay,
and that's what there's
rolls across, tries to grab at him, and he'll dodge as he's catching this guy. We come to a Babylon Pie.
Let's see here. I think that
That darn cat.
Sorry. She's amazing. Okay, so I think that the thing to do here is to get control of one of these twins. So essentially what I want to do is probably Terrifying Presence.
Okay.
On the one that is has just tossed the agent soup.
Okay. So you're going to have to. They're level 5.
Oh, they are.
So you're going to have to spend
What
2
level
levels
am
of
I?
effort.
Can I spend 2 levels of effort?
I think for that, for the Terrifying Presence, I think you can do that. But it'll cost you then. I'll tell you how many points it'll cost you to do that. It'll cost you 5.
Okay, I still want to do it.
Okay.
Because he's just a really badly behaved boy.
Okay.
So, yeah. So essentially, she comes up and I want, I think that without realizing it, she comes up and she's terrifying in that sense that she's like, she zooms up and she is full on Supergirl female. Like, I mean, like, maybe a little bit more sexy than Darlene has any sense of.
Right.
And she looks at him and she's like, no. Like, and he doesn't know what's going on. He's like right at that age that's going to be like, what?
Difficulty 5.
Okay. So, all right. How can I adjust that?
Okay. Well, you've got 1 shift for attack, so it becomes difficulty 4.
Okay.
You could spend effort to do it, which will cost you 2 more points. It'll become a difficulty 3.
All right. I will do that then. All right.
There's also the 2 points for activating the power itself in the first place. Don't forget.
Oh, geez. All right. This is going to be, after this, I know. Oh, I rolled super well. So I got a 19.
So,
Did you do any of that stuff? Can I have it back? I want backsies.
You will actually catch him just as he's catching soup, and so that he actually kind of he's freaked out and will actually set soup down much more gently than he might have otherwise. Does that seem like a fair additional effect?
Yes, that sounds perfect. Thank you.
They go. This guy is you're talking at him. This is the anatomical dummy one. It's kind of shaking. The other one turns and kind of rushes up, and that face, that light, just explodes at you. You're gonna have to make a defense roll. This is a speed defense. Difficulty 6.
I have to do that?
Yes, you do. I never roll.
Okay, so a speed roll. So I can spend some speed points to bring that down, right?
Yep, you could spend 3, and it'll become a difficulty 5.
Oh, that's still pretty bad, but at least it can be done. Okay. I will try it.
Okay. Need a 15 or better.
Nope. I got a 13.
Okay. So you are going to take 7 damage.
Okay, that's to my
Intellect.
might. Intellect? Ooh.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm out of intellect then.
Okay. So your status is going to go from hale to impaired.
Okay.
And the extra damage you can take on either your might or your speed pool.
Okay. All right.
Now you will be able to, on your next action, take a recovery to get yourself back up. Okay.
Okay.
But you drop, right?
Do I drop? Is that?
I mean, what does it look like when that hits you that hard?
I don't know. It certainly destroys my ability to keep on keeping the terrifying presence up. Then I guess I thought you could keep on going, just at impaired.
Let's look at the status for impaired here. Damage and healing. When it goes to 0, it costs an additional point to apply effort. You don't get major or minor effects from rolls. So yeah, you're fine. debilitated is when you kind of lose things.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry, I was.
That's
Okay.
fair.
Yes, I'm gonna.
You do look a little staggered there.
Oh, yeah.
Warlock.
Yeah, so I think Warlock kind of leaps in to this area, with his sound thrum, and I'm going to summon my future duplicate.
Okay.
That's 3 points of might. And this, bald tattooed old guy kind of appears and grabs Agent Soup and rushes him off to the side.
All right.
Yeah.
So that's perfect. Do that. Spend that action. The old guy scoops him up, and he goes, Soup again, and runs off. Like he clearly recognizes Soup as he heads off into the distance to get him to the hospital.
Good. Okay.
Awesome.
And that brings us to Laser Flip.
Oh yeah, let's do this. Let's get this going. Okay. Well, I need a little bit of a run-up, and I need to clarify something. The image I had of the character originally was using some sort of board. I was thinking some sort of hoverboard.
Yeah.
But obviously, I didn't know how equipment worked in this. It's just part of the actual mask itself.
Yeah, it's a fiction. Yeah.
So it hovers off the ground. It doesn't fly. It does exactly what you see in Back to the Future 2. So I will start I will take a run up and start moving towards them.
Okay.
And I will start speeding up, and I will start actually skating up the side of one of the local buildings.
Okay.
I'll come off. I'll flip at the top, and as I come down, I'll basically grab the board as I'm coming down, and I'll smack one of them round the back of the head with it as I land.
Do you want to smack the one that is terrified, or do you want to smack the one with the light?
I think I'll smack the one with the light.
Okay. All right. So a difficulty 5 to hit the one with the light.
Okay. I believe I get one. Let me see how I do this. I have mod 1 for my attack.
Okay. So if you do the mod 1, then you'll do 5 damage. If you do mod 0, you'll do 7.
Okay. I will use the mod 1, but
Okay.
I also the one who projected the light hasn't been attacked yet, has he?
That's correct.
Okay, but the one who the other one has been, is that right?
Yes, he is sort of paralyzed right now.
Okay. Yeah,
that will act as an asset if you want to hit him.
I will actually attack him, but I also have opportunist, which means if I attack someone who's already been attacked this round, I get an asset.
Okay, so that'll take you down. So it goes from 5, 4 for the skill, 2 more assets down to 2. You need to need a 6 or better.
Okay. Watch me roll another one.
That is correct.
I get a 5.
Do you want to spend an XP to reroll or take that?
I think I'll spend an XP to reroll that.
Okay.
And I get a 15.
Oh, yeah. So that will hit him for 5 points, and you'll crack him. He's still kind of stuck by that terror thing, and it hits him, and he definitely staggers forward from that strike. Abraxas on the next round.
So, now the stat. Can you refresh my memory of the status of where everyone's at right now? Or just all the bad guys in Soup?
So Soup is gone. He's taken care of.
Oh, right. Yeah. Feature.
Yeah. Light guy is free, but up in Babylon Pie's face. Babylon Pie looks like she's been injured, but she's keeping the anatomical dummy. We'll just call him Anatomy and Headlight. So she's keeping Anatomy held, and he just got clocked across the head in this brilliant flip that Laser Flip did.
Right on. So I'll go ahead and Abraxas will try to drain some life out of him with his with its cold touch.
Okay. So difficulty is 5. Which one are you doing? The Anatomy or Headlight?
Now Anatomy was attacked by Laser Flip and Babylon Pie. Is that correct?
And he's paralyzed right now.
He's paralyzed. Oh, okay. Well, in that case, I'll head for the other one.
Okay.
Yeah, for they're like
Sure. Difficulty 5 normally. You've got a 1 shift with your attacks, so it becomes difficulty 4.
Mm-hmm. And if I want to take it down, it would be this is again another intook attack, so it'll be the other 2 points to take it down in an additional spot.
Yep.
All right, I'm starting to push it, but that's okay. It's worth it.
So difficulty is 3, so you just need a 9 or better.
Yeah. And I got it. Ooh, another 18. All right.
An 18. So that will do extra damage. So that adds 2. So what's your base damage with this?
4 is the base damage.
4. So he actually takes 6 on that. So between getting the clocked across the head and this and the terror, he is staggering back. He is clearly not in great shape from this. Babylon Pie. You did.
So they've all walloped the guy I had paralyzed?
Yep.
Okay. Well, I'm going to take my recovery. Could you roll a d6 for me? I don't have one.
All right. 1d6. Submit. So you're going to get 5 points back.
Woot woot. Okay.
So that will be your action as you kind of step back. You can keep up the power.
Yes.
But you'll recover up. Does that take your intellect back up above 0?
Yes, it does.
We'll take you back to Hale then.
Okay. So essentially, gosh. So yeah, I have to maintain it. I really can't move or anything. It would be great if someone would attack my attacker, but that's fine. But yeah, I can't move in order to maintain this.
Okay,
so.
That seems fair. Headlight guy sees laser flip and is going to go to blast laser flip. She came down with that board. She's a girl, so he's going to hit her. Difficulty 6 to dodge.
Okay. Well, I get 1 shift for my speed defense.
That's right. 2 shifts actually.
Okay. So because I've got an edge in speed as well. No,
no, it is. Your speed defense is actually special rather than trained, so it's 2 shifts.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it goes to a 4.
Okay. So I will. Sorry, I'm just checking the character sheet. Give me a few seconds. I don't think I've got anything else I can.
You could spend effort to reduce it down. 2 points will get it down by another 1.
Yeah, I think I'll do that then.
Okay. That makes it difficulty 9 to dodge out of the way of this.
Watch me roll an 8. So I roll a 6.
Okay. So he will hit you for 7 points of intellect damage.
Okay.
It flashes you full on the face. Other guy's still paralyzed. Warlock.
Yeah, so I think I turn to Headlight. He's hit both both Babylon Pie and Laser Flip.
Absolutely.
This guy's dangerous. So I'm going to turn to him and I'm going to, do my laser eye beams like you see out of the old Kiss movie.
Okay.
So this is Onslaught. So he's a difficulty 6 to hit.
He is a difficulty 6 to hit.
Okay. Onslaught is 1 point, but I have an edge in intellect, which is good.
Okay.
So I'm at 6. And I'm going to spend so under power shifts I have 1 shift attacks.
Yes, that reduces attack value by 1, so it goes to a 5.
5. And I will spend points to get that to a 4.
Okay.
And I think that's everything I can do.
That makes sense to me.
Yep. And I rolled a 17.
Okay. Are you doing intellect damage or physical damage?
Intellect damage.
Okay. And 17 adds +1, so you're going to be doing
4 points. Oh, it's 2 points of intellect damage. That's right.
Okay.
2
Are you
points of
cool with
intellect.
that?
Yeah.
Okay. So that will hit him and certainly draws attention. That's the first time he's been hit. And he got laser beam kind of zaps into him, and he's shaking from that. Laser flip.
Okay, I've just been stunned straight in the face. Stop. Come back up. Oh no, boy! You didn't want to do that. And flick the board down, run over. I'll jump on the board, and as I'm going towards him, I'll basically kneel down and go through his legs and grab one of his legs on the way through. As I'm holding him, I'll basically ride up the building, let go of him halfway, and as I come up and flip off the top, I'm going to zoom past him on the way down and do a sonic attack.
That sounds good.
I have no idea how I actually rolled that. But
okay, so what you do is you're going to be you get your opportunist. So it goes from a 5 down to a 4.
Yeah. I have one shift for my sonic attack.
Okay. So that'll be 4 down to a 3. And if you hit, you're going to do 7 points of physical damage to him.
Okay. So I will spend 2 speed to use my edge on that as well.
Okay.
Lower that by 1. Give me 2 seconds. Far too many windows open. So that's at 3 at the moment, isn't it?
So speed to be down by, so it's a 3. Yeah, you could spend it and get down to a 2.
Okay. So I get a 19.
19. So that's actually going to be 10 points of damage to this guy. And he will kind of stagger back away from that. We will come to back up to Abraxas.
All right, so the twin who is
flipped this guy, thrown him to headlights on the ground. Babylon Pie still has the other one held. He's trying to get out of this. What do you want to do?
Yeah, I'm going to as I know Babylon Pie is looking for help. Tony's gonna trust her to keep Anatomy locked down until we neutralize Headlight. So I think if Headlight's down, does that make it easier to?
Yeah, that's a situational asset.
Yeah, if I want to entangle. Now, was Headlight shooting beams out of
his face? Yes.
Oh, okay. So entangling might not actually be helpful. So let's just go for another death touch on him.
Okay, run up and tag him. So difficulty 4 since he's on the ground.
Okay, so that would be a 12.
Necromantic attacks go down by 1, so a 3 becomes a 9.
Yeah, I think I might leave it there because my intellect's getting low. So let's see what happens. Let's see if I can pull off a 9 attack. I can. I rolled a 12.
12. So that's going to be 4 points, right?
That's right.
Okay. Yeah, he is not digging this anymore. Babylon Pie.
The strains of the synth music are sort of, reaching that high suspense thing, and she kind of looks at him and she goes, "Now, I really think you ought to be home in bed. And I wanna make him flee the scene."
Which one? The one you're terrified?
Yeah, the terrifying presence. Yeah.
Okay. His level is 5, so difficulty 5. I will say the terror on him already is an asset. Take it down to a 4.
Okay. And then I can spend some points. Yes. So I will spend the 2 to take it down to 3.
Okay.
And I will try rolling on that. I got a 16.
So he's been held by this, and he can maybe see his brother has got knocked down, sees the 4 of you, and he just takes off running, doesn't look back, leaves his brother behind, rushes sort of, super leap, pell-mell, doesn't even think to maybe conceal the direction he's running in, runs back straight for his house.
Okay.
The other one, who got knocked down and then got death touched, he will spend his action to roll up and flee as well. Essentially, they look scared, and they've just gotten smacked around in their superhuman identities, and they did not care for it. Does that seem fair for you, Eric, and so Warlock and Laserflip?
Yeah.
And you can hear the sirens coming. You can see the old guy, running Soup over to the ambulance and getting things set there. And I assume we see you guys fleeing out into the night.
Sounds about right.
Not quite yet. I'm gonna go over to the old guy and go, I'm quick. Hey, hi. I'm quicker than any ambulance. I'm gonna grab Soup.
Sophia, I got this.
I got this. I'm basically grab him and I'm gonna
same old Laserflip.
I'm gonna fast pace it to the hospital and actually drop him at the hospital. Okay. But on the way, it's basically going to be along the rooftops of the building.
Okay.
So grinding and jumping from rooftop to rooftop and.
Perfect. Old guy looks back at you, Warlock. Gives you the thumbs up. Keep on rocking. Vanishes.
Right.
So I think the end tag for this is probably going to be you guys all getting home, but you coming in, climbing in your window, mask off, Abraxas.
Mm-hmm.
And when you climb in, there'll be that flip of the light switch and your dad with his arms crossed.
I feel grounding coming on.
Where have you been, young man? And that'll be the cut to the sort of the fade to black for the episode.
Mm-hmm.
I hope that's okay. We went a little bit over time today. I will give everybody 3 XP for various discoveries that you made throughout the session, finding out how the kids were, finding out about the identity of this young woman. So I think that's worth 3 XP for all of that.
Okay. Lowell, can I just check? Is this a system where you get XP when you fail a roll?
No. Because you guys would be leveling all the time.
The number of ones I've been rolling tonight.
Yeah, no, you guys had some bad rolls. Michael, thank you for playing. I appreciate you coming in for these first 2 sessions, and I dig your character very much.
Yeah, I hope if anyone drops out, we'll see if I can make it back in. But otherwise, I enjoyed playing with everyone, and hope you figure out what's going on with all this nonsense.
Absolutely. Thanks so much. I am going to stop the recording at this point. We'll do Roses and Thorns at the end of next session. I like to do that every other session, or maybe we'll save it for the final one. We'll see. I want to stop it.